Denver, Colorado is playing host to the 2025 Commodity Classic. And our coverage this week is brought to you by Helena. For more information on the products that they provide producers in the countryside, visit Helena online. Well, over 10,000 farmers and attendees are in the Mile High City for this year's Commodity Classic. But the National Association of Wheat Growers took time to celebrate 75 years of their advocacy on behalf of the nation's wheat growers. And joining us here today is a Big Sandy rancher, Mr. Nathan Keane, former president of the Montana Grain Growers Association and incoming treasurer for the National Association of Wheat Growers. And Nathan, what does it mean being here 75 years? We saw so many of the leaders and those who have served as president of NAWG over the years. What's it mean to serve as a current board member, just hear from all of these great leaders?
Sure. No, it's pretty incredible to be able to see, past 40 years representing behind us, but representing overall 75 years of National Association of Wheat Growers. It's incredible to be a part of an association that's been around that long, and just the advocacy that it has done over 75 years for agriculture. Just shaping agriculture the way it is now and just making it a positive place, keeping the family farm. It's incredible to be a part of.
Well, and as we stand here in the NOG booth, a lot of these past leaders, and several, of course, from the Big Sky state of Montana, discussing these issues, whether it's research, whether it's trade, whether it's farm bill. It's a lot of the same issues that we fought for, for 75 years. Yeah, from your leadership preview now, how important is it to continue to have a voice in Washington, D.C., and be boots on the ground in both the countryside and in our nation's capital?
Yeah, I would just say, advocacy for agriculture is just, I would say almost getting even more important. We have things coming after us consistently, constantly. Whether it's the different tools that we have in our tool belt for farming and for agriculture. Right now, some of the current climate that we have and the Maha movement, which, there's a lot of stuff that's great there, but there's a lot of stuff that, as far as agriculture, there might be some differences in opinions on how things work, right? And so, advocating for these things and just bringing to the attention as being a producer myself and also, part of the National Association of Wheat Growers, bringing to Congress, really what the tools are used for, why we use them, how it helps us, how it helps our soils, and just overall use of things. It's very important to bring that to them. I'm not just a lobbyist just from some industry or whatever. I'm also a farmer, producer, knowing what works and what doesn't. And so to be able to bring that, it's just incredibly important. I'd say it just gets to be even more so as the years go.
Busy week last week in Washington, D.C. A budget vote in the House of Representatives. We had Senate Agriculture Committee hearings. I know we have a House hearing coming up. State of the farm economy is a big topic. We know wheat prices, they could do a lot better. We know that input prices are high too. But how important is it to have a farm bill that has safety nets, has export programs? Well, what are some of these key priorities as the House maybe reworks their farm bill a little bit and the Senate surfaces their own, and maybe hopefully seeing a farm bill language by this summer, I've heard?
Yeah, so this farm bill, boy, I think we've been working on this for the last 3 years, trying to get a new farm bill put in place. The current farm bill that we have, the 2018 farm bill, is based on 2012 statistics. We know COVID has rapidly changed the world and how expensive it is for us, for agriculture right now. Our current safety net is nowhere close to where it needs to be. And so that's the biggest push, is getting a safety net that represents our current market, our current just era where we are in agriculture right now. Some of the major key points, that we're pushing in the farm bill is insurance. I mean, that's a huge thing. If we don't have an affordable insurance that just covers our risk and just risk mitigation, then the loss of family farms could be huge. And so and it just the way the insurance works, it's quick and responsive. So you have a loss, you get the adjuster out, and you get taken care of really quickly. And so we need to keep that in place. That's usually kind of on the docket every farm bill. And so we just need to make sure that risk mitigation is there. That's a huge point for us. No, hopefully, we got to listen to Secretary Rollins last night, And her hope is really to push for a new farm bill this year. And I really hope that we can actually do that. It's been working out for a long time coming.
Obviously, there's several $billion that was allocated in 2024 in that resolution to keep the federal government funded, $10 billion in particular for agriculture, along with other emergency disaster funding as well. What are we hearing on what the per acre rate will be for wheat? Again, there's a lot up in the air,
Yeah.
but supposedly here in the middle of March, that is supposedly going to be doled out. What's an update from NAWG's perspective, and what have you heard from USDA?
Yeah, so when that rolled out, the $10 billion it was appropriated, and then it was a 90-day window from when it was put in place and towards the end of December to when it should be rolled out. Well, we were waiting for the new secretary to be put in place to be able to actually, head up the department and get this rolled out. Now, listening to her, she thinks in the next, 2-3 weeks, we should be able to see that. As far as prices go, we are looking at, and I can't tell you specifically, it's around a little over $38 range per acre for wheat. I do know for Montana, overall, including all commodities, we're going to average for the state of Montana around $28 per acre.
Yep.
And that's all commodities. But for wheat, it's something around 38.60 or something like that per acre.
Now, I know the National Association of Wheat Growers is really focused on creating more export opportunities for wheat, growing that demand across the globe as well. But President Donald Trump just today on Truth Media did post a message to the great farmers of the United States, quote, get ready to start making a lot of agricultural product to be sold inside of the United States. Tariffs will go on external product on April 2nd. Have fun. Obviously, he wants more U.S. My read on that is he wants more U.S. products consumed by U.S. consumers, not bringing in agricultural products. What is the reaction on that? Obviously, we want more U.S. consumers, but we do need to maintain those markets as well.
Yeah, you said it. We would love to see more U.S. demand, and I mean, hands down, we'd love to see that. Can we get that? Sure. But currently, where we're sitting right now, 50% of the wheat that we produce needs to be exported, and we work hard as far as like U.S. Wheat works hard in the offices around the world to promote our wheat and get it sold. We grow some of the highest quality wheat in the world, and it's specifically in Montana, in the Golden Triangle, some of the highest quality wheat in the world. But a lot of our wheat in Montana, 60% of that actually is exported, and we're looking at it's Japan and Korea, South Korea, and Taiwan, a lot to Mexico, and so where we would love to see higher demand domestically, absolutely. And if there's possibility to do that, we're all for that. But we also need the international markets as well to help keep, wheat thriving here in this country.
Well, again, 75 years of the National Association of Wheat Growers. What are some final thoughts here today, Nathan, you just want to share with the past, present, and future of the association?
Yeah, well, I'm climbing my way up in the chairs in the National Association of Wheat Growers. And like you said, I'm becoming treasurer here in a couple of days. And one day I'll be one of those presidents, and one day I'll be one of those past presidents. And it's just inspiring to see what they have done, the work they've done behind us, and what we're doing forward. So I'm just so lucky, and just I love the opportunity to be able to be part of this organization and help push agriculture for the good. And like I said before, just keep the family farms and let agriculture thrive. And in ways of doing that, of getting government out where government needs to be out and get government in where it needs to be in, but just make it common sense for the farmer and make it work.
Well, again, Nathan Keane, thank you so much for joining us here today. The incoming treasurer of the National Association of Wheat Growers here in Denver at Commodity Classic 2025. Of course, our coverage brought to you by our friends at Helena here today. Again, follow us along for more of our conversations from the Classic.